There are places on this planet so locked down, so fortified, you'd be arrested just for getting close. We're not talking about banks. We're talking bunkers built into mountains, compounds protected by minefields, facilities so secret even world leaders need clearance. These aren't tourist sites. They're vaults of power, silence, and control. And you're not supposed to know they exist. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 most heavily guarded places you're not allowed to see. And number 1, it's the most infamous facility on Earth, protected by kill zones, motion sensors, and rumors that still terrify governments. Let's begin. You could walk right past it, swim in the pool, eat at the restaurant, even stay overnight. But beneath the surface of this luxurious West Virginia resort is a Cold War, secret built to house the entire United States. Congress in case of nuclear war. It's called the Greenbrier, and for over 30 years, almost no one knew what was buried underneath. Behind reinforced doors and hidden blast vaults lies a fully functional underground government compound. Dormitories, cafeterias, a communications hub, even a fake press briefing room, designed to keep the illusion of continuity alive if Washington, D.C. was wiped off the map. It was codenamed Project Greek Island, and its existence wasn't declassified until a journalist exposed it in 1992. By then, it had already been secretly updated and maintained for decades. Even today, some corridors remain off-limits. The facility is partially open for tours, but only the surface-level areas. No one really knows how much of it is still operational, or if similar bunkers have since been built elsewhere. The real power of this place isn't in what it holds, but what it proves. The government doesn't just prepare for the worst. It hides entire worlds beneath your feet. And the next location? Looks like it came straight from a Bond villain's lair. Carved deep into the granite bedrock of Stockholm lies a structure that looks like it belongs in a science fiction movie, because that's exactly what inspired it. This is the Pioneer White Mountain Data Center. Originally a Cold War nuclear shelter, it was transformed into one of the most secure and visually stunning data bunkers in the world. Glass walls, simulated daylight, waterfalls, and smoke machines. Yes, really. But beneath the aesthetic lies the true power: digital armor. Pioneer houses servers that have supported everything from financial systems to WikiLeaks. At the peak of its infamy, it hosted highly sensitive, globally controversial data. Information that governments wanted erased and whistleblowers wanted protected. The bunker is 100 feet underground, reinforced by steel doors, biometric scanners, diesel backup generators, and blast-proof corridors. In a worst-case scenario, it can remain sealed and operational for weeks. If the internet had a black box, this would be it. What's stored there today? They don't say, and you're not allowed to ask. Pioneer isn't just a fortress. It's a symbol of the digital battlefield, where information is weaponized and storage is survival. But while this bunker hides data, the next one hides something far older and far more divine. 600 feet inside a granite mountain in Utah, behind 14-ton steel doors and earthquake-resistant tunnels, lies one of the most heavily secured religious archives in the world. This is the Granite Mountain Records Vault, and it's owned by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, better known as the Mormon Church. But this isn't just a library. It's a fortress, built to withstand nuclear blasts, EMPs, and natural disasters. The vault houses over 3.5 billion images of genealogical and historical records, some dating back centuries. Births, deaths, marriages, global migrations, entire family lines preserved in high resolution. Why? According to church doctrine, genealogy is central to spiritual salvation. But beyond theology, this is the most complete private record of humanity ever assembled. Access is tightly restricted. Only authorized personnel may enter, and most church members, let alone the public, will never step inside. It's climate-controlled, fireproof, and digitally secured. Backups of backups. Layers of redundancy so dense, it's like humanity's DNA has been etched into stone. But here's the part no one talks about. If the world ended tomorrow, this vault could help rebuild civilization from paper. That's not just foresight, that's quiet power. But while this vault protects history, the next one may be hiding it. There is a door in Vatican City that leads to the most forbidden library in the world. This is the Vatican Secret Archives, officially renamed the Apostolic Archive in 2019, but the secrecy? Still very real. Spanning over 50 miles of shelving beneath the city-state, this vault holds some of the most sensitive religious, political, and historical documents in existence. Ancient manuscripts, papal correspondences, trial records of Galileo, letters from kings and emperors, even documents sealed by wax that's centuries old. And most of it? Locked away from public view. Access is granted only to a handful of pre-approved scholars. Even then, you can't browse. You must request specific documents by name and justify their academic relevance. The Vatican claims it's about preservation. Critics say it's about control. Whispers persist about lost gospels, suppressed history, and explosive secrets hidden from the world. Truth? We may never know. The archive is guarded by Swiss guards, motion sensors, climate vaults, and an international web of ecclesiastical authority. And yet, it exists beneath the public's feet. Just steps from tourist crowds, lies a literary black hole. Because when history is hidden, power doesn't disappear. It multiplies in silence. But while the church keeps its secrets underground, our next location guards a border where 3 nations collide. And one wrong move could ignite a war. One wrong step here, and you're not just trespassing. You're triggering an international incident. The Tumen River border is one of the most sensitive and heavily surveilled. Try border zones on Earth. It's where North Korea, China, and Russia all meet. And none of them want you anywhere near it. This isn't just a river. It's a geopolitical fault line. An invisible wall where surveillance towers, landmines, military patrols, and motion detectors blanket the terrain 24/7. Each side monitors the other, not just to control smuggling or defections, but to project dominance. In North Korea, crossing the Tumen is a death sentence. For would-be defectors, it's a final gamble. For the Chinese and Russian sides, the priority is stability and silence. Satellite images show rapid militarization, temporary roads built and dismantled, and outposts that don't appear on maps. Journalists are banned, drones are shot down, and satellite data is redacted. This isn't about tourism. It's about tension. A border where global friction is buried in quiet standoffs and shadow movements. No one talks about it, but everyone watches it. Because the next conflict may not begin with a missile, it might start with a footstep in the wrong current. And while this river divides nations, our next site was built to divide humanity itself from its most dangerous minds. Some places aren't designed to be seen. This one was built to never be escaped, not in body, not in mind. Welcome to ADX Florence, the most secure prison in the United States, often called the Alcatraz of the Rockies. It's not just the inmates that make this facility terrifying. It's the architecture, engineered for total psychological control. Inmates here spend 23 hours a day in solitary confinement. 1 hour of outdoor time, alone, inside a concrete cage. No physical contact, no communal meals, no phone calls without extreme monitoring. Some prisoners haven't seen a human face in over a decade. The prison holds the most dangerous men alive. Terrorists, cartel leaders, high-value national security threats. Each one chosen for permanent isolation. The facility itself is wrapped in steel-reinforced concrete, motion sensors, pressure-sensitive floors, and sniper towers. Even the ventilation shafts are laced with razor wire and infrared tripwires. Escaping ADX Florence isn't just difficult, it's mathematically impossible. And if someone did try, there are over 400 prison staff, ready to respond in under 60 seconds. This place doesn't just contain people, it erases their presence from the world. It is silence, sealed in stone. But our next entry doesn't just store life. It stores the future of all life on Earth. Deep inside a mountain on a remote Arctic island, a cold steel door leads to what many call the Doomsday Vault. This is the Svalbard Global Seed Vault. censored, humanity's backup hard drive, built to survive the collapse of civilization. Located in Norway, just 800 miles from the North Pole, Svalbard is carved into permafrost, naturally, refrigerated and shielded from rising seas, war, earthquakes, and even nuclear fallout. Inside are more than 1 million seed samples, representing every major crop on Earth. Corn from Mexico, wheat from Syria, rice from China, staples of human life, preserved in vacuum-sealed packets, stacked in frozen corridors that stretch like a biological time capsule. The goal? To ensure food security in case of war, climate disaster, or global crop failure. But here's what's eerie. The vault is rarely visited. It's designed to be opened only in a true catastrophe. And while it's a symbol of unity, only select governments and scientific organizations can deposit or retrieve from it. For all its noble intent, it's still locked behind layers of international control. This isn't just a freezer. It's a message to the future. We saw it coming. But while this vault preserves life, our next entry was built to survive death itself, in the heart of a mountain, armed against nuclear war. Buried under 2,000 feet of solid granite in Colorado Springs, is a military city designed to survive the end of the world. This is the Cheyenne Mountain Complex, home to NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Command. From the outside, it looks like a mountain. Inside, it's a fortress, protected by 25-ton blast doors and a network of tunnels designed to bend with shock waves. This facility can absorb a direct nuclear hit and keep operating. Its systems are isolated from the internet. The ventilation filters out biological and chemical attacks. It generates its own power, its own water, its own ecosystem. Inside are command centers, data nodes, barracks, and war rooms, once tasked with tracking every missile in the sky, every aircraft in North America, and every space object approaching Earth. Even now, it remains on standby. If the world goes dark, this place lights up. And it's still active. Cheyenne was reactivated in 2015 to serve as a hardened defense against potential electromagnetic pulse attacks. What happens in this mountain is classified. What it's built for? Unthinkable. Because when all else fails, this is the final switchboard. But while Cheyenne is a fortress of command, our next entry guards the vault of a nation and the myth of unimaginable wealth. Say the words Fort Knox, and one image comes to mind. Gold, and a lot of it. But Fort Knox is more than a vault. It's the most famous, and possibly the most impenetrable, high-security facility in the world. Located in Kentucky, Fort Knox holds a reported 4,500-plus metric tons of gold, the backbone of the United States' reserve. But it's not just what's inside that matters, it's how it's protected. The main vault door weighs over 20 tons. The building is made of steel-reinforced concrete, encased in granite. The facility is surrounded by armed guards, military checkpoints, barbed wire fences, motion sensors, and landmines. Airspace is restricted. Access is nearly impossible. Even U.S. presidents haven't always been allowed inside. It's so secure that conspiracy theories thrive. Some believe the gold is long gone. Others say it holds more than bullion, like classified documents, alien tech, or secret relics. The truth? Almost no one knows. And that's the point. Because Fort Knox isn't just a vault. It's a symbol, not of money, but of untouchable power. And yet, somehow, there's one place even more secret, even more restricted, even more feared. You've heard the name, but what happens inside is still denied. It's the most famous secret in the world, and the most heavily denied. Area 51, a classified U.S. military installation in the Nevada desert, has been the subject of speculation, myth, and obsession for over half a century. Officially, it didn't exist until 2013. Unofficially, it's where the future is born. Originally built to test U-2 spy planes during the Cold War, Area 51 evolved into the epicenter of black projects. Stealth aircraft, drone tech, and whatever comes next. But no one really knows what's happening inside. What we do know is this. It's surrounded by motion sensors buried in the sand, cameras hidden in rocks, infrared tripwires, satellite surveillance, and private security contractors authorized to use deadly force. The airspace above it is a no-fly zone. Even high-ranking military officials need special clearance to approach. And still, no one talks. Conspiracy theories thrive here. UFO reverse engineering, alien bodies, time travel experiments, or technologies decades beyond public reach. Truth or not, the paranoia is by design. Area 51 is less a place than a signal. A reminder that behind the curtain of national defense is a black box no one is allowed to open. Because when something is that heavily protected, it's not just a secret, it's a message. These aren't tourist attractions. They're black holes of access, built to hide, protect, and control what the world isn't meant to see. From vaults buried in ice, to bunkers carved into mountains, to borders that hum with silent hostility. These places are locked tighter than your imagination can stretch. And the question isn't just what they're protecting, it's why they need that much protection in the first place. Because the deeper you look, the clearer it becomes. Power isn't just about who's in charge. It's about who decides what's hidden. These aren't just buildings. They're thresholds between what's public and what's off-limits forever. So now ask yourself, what else is out there? What haven't we found? What's hidden behind door 511 to 12? 50? If this list gave you chills, if it made you curious, skeptical, or just a little more awake, then you're exactly who we made it for. Subscribe now, because next week we're revealing 10 more places, people, and secrets you were never supposed to know existed. And remember, the deeper the lock, the darker the truth.